And then come up onto your hands and your knees. And bring some more movement to your spine with cow and cat. So I want you to inhale into cow first and hold that. It's a lift of your tailbone, a lift of your chest, and your belly is descending downward. And take a breath in here. And then exhale to round your back. And when you round your back, I want you to notice your belly button. And then 2 inches below your belly button. And at that 2 inches below your belly button space, I want you to pull in and pull up to round your back. Good. Inhale into cow, chest up and tailbone high. And then exhale to pull your belly button in, and even the 2 inches below your belly button, hug in. 2 more. Inhale into cow. Exhale, round your back into cat. Awesome. One more time, guys. Inhale into cow. Exhale, round into cat. Press the floor away. Now inhale into a neutral spine. Keep your toes pointed and lift your knees 2 inches up off the floor. If you just curled your toes, please uncurl them. Have the shoelaces of your feet into the mat as your knees hover. It just makes it a little bit harder, honestly, than when your toes are curled. And have your neck be in line with your spine. We're gonna hold this for a count of 8. If it's too long, then at halfway, take a momentary break. Set your eyes to one point. Good, we're halfway, holding for 4. Holding for 3. Keep your breath moving though, maybe make it louder. And then just move your lower body, plank pose, one leg at a time. Yep. Drop a knee or 2 if you want to break, but this one you're gonna hold for 6 more. Whew, you'll feel that in your shoulders too for 3. You guys got it. 2. And then really slow into downward dog. Don't react. Take your time. Hips up and back. Hips up and back. Nice. Good. And just pedal out your legs. Feeling that temporary break out of your core strength here. Your core work. Nice. And then lift your right leg up to the sky, nice and high, full breath here. Spread your top toes and then lower your right leg back down to downward dog. And same thing other side, nice and easy. Left leg comes up, inhale. Hold and breathe. Press your right heel towards the floor. And then lift your left heel further away from the ground. Go up, up, up. And then into a downward facing dog. Nice. Take a breath, inhale. Let it go out, exhale. Ujjayi breath if you know it, inhale. And let it go out, exhale. Nice. Look at your hands and you're gonna go backward, one hand at a time towards your feet. Don't slide your hand, lift it. Go slow. So you're using your muscles, not just dragging your body. At the back of your mat, come into a halfway lift with your chest forward. And then forward fold your head to the ground and release your hands. And then bend your knees, slowly come up to standing with your arms over your head, nice full breath. And then bring your hands down to chest center, good. Let's start to flow a little bit. Inhale your arms up to the sky. And then forward fold, your hands and your head release to the floor. Good, stay here for an extra breath or 2 and just check that your shoulders are relaxed, that they're not near your ears, that your head is at 0, it's at center. Good, halfway lift, inhale, lengthen your chest towards the front of your mat. And then walk your hands forward, don't slide them, into plank pose. Nice. From plank, take one of your blocks and place it underneath your right knee. So you might have to drop a knee to get there, but notice how my block is not in the middle of my body, it's closer to my foot. I can even drop my knee on it. Good. If you don't have a block, maybe a pillow or something, a book could be good too. Good, downward facing dog. Right, so this is gonna warm up our legs and our core. What I want you to do is look between your hands and step your right foot over that block without touching it to get your foot to your hands. Good. Push the floor up and away. See how I lift my core? Lift your core to lift your foot. Go over the block, back to downward dog. If that was too easy, move the block closer to your hands. If it was too hard, move the block closer to your foot. We're gonna do that 3 more times. Look to your hands, step over the block, and then land. Shoulders over your wrists. Good. Lift your core to go back, downward facing dog. Go forward, use your core, hug up, and step your foot to your hands. Good. Lift your core to bring your foot as close to your glute to step back, downward dog. One more time. Go forward over that block. Nice. Now stepping is hard. Left hand to the floor, right arm up to the sky. Reach and look up, and then take your top hand behind your back, like a half bind. Nice and gentle, just warming up your shoulders and your spine to twist. Take a breath here, inhale. Exhale in your twist. Okay, lift your right arm up to the sky, inhale, and place your hand down to the ground. One more final step back, over the block, don't kick it, and then downward dog. Good. Move the block to your left. After you do that, come to plank pose and make sure that block is kind of underneath your left knee. You can drop your left knee to check. Okay, and then downward facing dog. You're gonna look to your hands and step your left foot over the block, not around it, to get to your hands. Good. And then lift your core to go back over the block with your left foot to down dog. If that was easy, move the block closer to your hands. If that was too hard, move the block closer to your foot. Look forward, step over the block, not around it. There you go. And then press and come back, downward dog. It's okay if you lift onto your tips of your fingers. Step over the block, use your core, land at the front, inhale. Exhale, go back, downward dog, core muscles in. Okay, one more time, step forward, over, and then hold. Lift your left arm up to the sky, look up to your top hand, and reach behind your back if you want half bind option. Nice, guys. For those of you I can see looking good, keep twisting up to the sky. And take one more breath to lengthen, one more breath out to twist. Then place your left hand back to the floor. Final step back over the block, really clear it with all your muscle, downward dog. Move the block off to the side. Then walk your feet all the way to your hands. Take your time. Halfway lift as you inhale. And forward fold, release your head and shoulders. Inhale all the way up to standing, take your time, big reach at the top. And then hands down to chest center. Good. Inhale your arms up. Exhale into Utkatasana, chair pose. Now in chair pose, what you don't want to do is push your core muscles out, but you're back bending. You want to squeeze your core muscles in and strong. I like to think of ribs hugging. Take 3 breaths into the depth of your chair. Make it a challenging chair that you would only want to stay for 2 more breaths. Inhale together, core hugs in. Forward fold slowly, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Step your right foot back like you're going over the block, drop your knee. And inhale your arms up. Steeple hands, meaning your pointer fingers are up, your other fingers are crossed. Lift up, pull your core muscles in, and then lean back from there. Press into the shoelaces of your back foot for 3. Nice for 2, reach more, and then hands down to the ground. Here's your step. You're gonna curl your back toes under and then step like you're going over the block into plank pose. Drop your knees, drop your chest and your chin to the floor so you have this little back bend. Slide your legs back and your chest forward, baby cobra. Inhale. Lower your chest on your exhale. Good, we're gonna do 2 more of those. Inhale, baby cobra press, and then maybe a little higher. Exhale, lower. Good, 1 more time. Inhale, up as high as you want. Exhale, lower. Good, curl your toes, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. And take your right leg up to the sky, inhale. Like you're stepping over the block, step your right foot to your hands. Imagine the block is there. Good, lower your back knee. Inhale your arms up, steeple hands, lift your chest and lean back. So this is where the accountability of your own yoga practice comes into play. I don't really know if you're stepping around the block or not. Or imagining it. It's different than being live and in person. Good. Lift your chest, but that's up to you. You guys have practiced enough that you can be your own teacher with the guidance. Good. Hands to the floor, curl your back toes under, step forward. Halfway lift, lengthen out. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale up to standing. Get really tall through your legs. Hands at chest center. Good. Another round like that. Inhale, sweep up, lean back. Sit into chair pose, Utkatasana. Find that point 2 inches below your belly button and draw that point in and up. Yes. And when you do that, you support your back muscles here. Strong core is a healthy back. Breathe for 3. Fullest expression, everybody, for 2. Inhale here. Fold and exhale. Halfway lift, lengthen out your spine. Left foot all the way back. Nice and gently lower your knee. Inhale, arms up, steeple hands. Other hand on top if you haven't done that yet. Inhale, hug your core muscles in. Exhale, lean back for 3. Nice. Breathe for 2. And then hands down to the ground. Pretend that your block is there. Step to plank pose. Oh yeah, nice. Inhale. Lower your knees, your chest, and your chin, and then slide into baby cobra. Inhale to come up. Good. Exhale to lower. 1 more press now. Inhale as high as you want. Exhale, lower down. Curl your toes, inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale to go back. Awesome. Left leg to the sky. Inhale. Step your foot like you're going over the block all the way to your hands. Lower your back knee. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Steeple hands. Hug your core muscles in 2 inches below your belly button. Hug that in and back. Lift your chest and look back for 3. Breathe for 2. Hands down to the ground. Curl your back toes. Step forward. Halfway to lengthen, inhale. Fold and breathe out, exhale. Bend your knees, come to standing, inhale, breath. And then hands down at chest center. Good, we're gonna move on, but keep this attention to your core. Inhale your arms up. Utkatasana, chair pose, just like we've done before. If you need to, you can find your belly button with your hand and go 2 inches-ish below it and draw that area in and back. Inhale here. Sit lower on your exhale if you have room. 1 more breath, inhale. forward fold all the way down to exhale. Then halfway lift to lengthen. Step both feet back to plank pose, one at a time. Nice, and then lower slowly to the floor any way you like. And then upward dog from there. So you're gonna press up, slide your hips closer to your hands so your shoulders are right over your wrists. Pull your arm bones back and send your chest forward. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Awesome, you guys. All right, step your right foot to your hands like you're going over the block. Move mindfully. Warrior two pose. Inhale to come up. Nice, and then bend into your front knee. Turn your chest to the side of the room, and then bring your front fist just below your belly button. Good, you're gonna inhale, and when you exhale, you're gonna use that as a reminder to pull your core in and back. Good, like you're going in and up. Keep your core active, reach both arms front and back. Inhale, set your eyes in front of you. Exhale, find the depth of your legs. Reverse your warrior, keeping that strong connection to your core, your inner fire. You can feel it when we focus on core, things get fiery. Extended side angle, right hand to your block, inside of your foot or to the floor, and your left arm forward. Now with your top hand, make a fist, put it 2 inches below your belly button, and then pull in and up. Make sure your core is active. Good, keep that, reach your top arm forward again. Hold this pose for 3. Look up to the ceiling with a strong core and strong legs. Good, both hands down to the ground. Turn forward into a lunge, and then go to standing splits. Left leg to the sky. It's a really good pose for a block or 2 blocks under each hand. 1 under each hand. Inhale here. And as you fold in your standing splits, have your outer right hip go more to the back of the room. Good, 3. Breathe for 2. Consciously lower your left foot next to your right foot. Halfway lift to lengthen. Forward fold. You can move your blocks off to the side. Utkatasana, chair pose. Going 1 more round like this. You can use your hand as a guide or not, but pull that pit of your belly back. Hugging in from the center of your body, your core. Sit 1 inch lower than you think you want to. Good. And take 1 more breath. Inhale. And then fold slowly. Exhale. Nice. Halfway lift. Inhale, breath. Step both feet back to plank pose when you exhale. Any way that you like to lower to the floor, go ahead and get yourself there slowly with control. And then pull yourself forward and up into upward dog. So you may even have to slide your upper body forward. Lift your knees off the ground and your thighs. Pull your upper arm bones back and send your chest forward. There you go. 1 more breath in. And downward facing dog. Exhale back. Step your left foot forward to your hands. Come up to Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2 pose. It's really easy to lose our core here, kind of stick our butt out and back bend. But think about drawing your low core up. Lengthen your back ribs to the ceiling, lengthen the sides of your waist. Inhale, look forward with your eyes, and exhale, sink low into your depth. And hold for 3. Reverse your warrior back, lengthen a lot. And then extended side angle, left hand to the block or to the floor. And reach your top arm forward. And remember to reactivate your core here if you lost it in that transition. Check back into your center. Lengthen through your back leg. Twist up to the ceiling with your chest. Good. 3. Lower both hands to the ground. Take an inhale to look forward and then standing splits when you exhale. Blocks or no blocks for your hands, up to you. And sometimes it kind of feels up to your body. Your hamstrings might be telling you if you want blocks. At 3. Spread your top toes, get energy through your top leg. And slowly forward fold when you breathe out. Nice, guys. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. And then your last chair pose to end this series. Bend your knees. Take a tiny seat. Arms come high. Good. Hold and breathe for 4. Hold and breathe for 3. Are you at your lowest chair depth for 2? And stand all the way up, hands at chest center. Good. Close your eyes for a moment. Be as still as you can. Nice, guys. Okay, inhale your arms up to the sky. We have 5 more minutes of standing poses. Forward fold, exhale all the way down. Halfway lift to lengthen out your spine. Step just your left foot all the way back. There you go. And from here, you're gonna go to a pyramid pose. So now shorten your stance. Turn your back foot out about 45 degrees and turn your hips to face the front of your yoga mat. Good. Hands can go to blocks, but before you fold, everyone come into a halfway lift. So feel your hips press behind you and your chest go forward out in front of you. In a moment when you fold, I want you to fold not just by dropping down, but by pulling your core muscles in. So together, inhale. Exhale, pull your core muscles in and use that to fold just a little bit. Hold. Good. Inhale. Exhale, pull your core muscles in. Use that to help you fold and hold. One more time, inhale. Exhale, hug your core muscles in to help you fold as far as you want to go today. Nice. And then come into a halfway lift for a twisted triangle. So bring your block outside of your front foot or inside. Left hand to the mat or block and lengthen your chest forward. Bring your right arm parallel to the floor. You can't see it, but my right arm is parallel out. Okay, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hug your core muscles in and twist a little bit. Hold. Inhale. Exhale, hug your core in, twist, and hold. Good. Do that 2 or 3 more times until you get to your fullest twist by moving from your core. Good. Together, take 2 more breaths at this expression. Lengthen your spine, your neck. 1 more inhale. And then hands to the ground. Step your left foot to meet your right foot. Half lift, inhale. And then fold, exhale. Just release here for a breath or 2. Maybe shake out your legs if that feels nice. Halfway lift, hands on your shins, inhale. Step your right foot all the way back. Nice. And then you're going to shorten it to go into a pyramid. So just about 6 more inches forward. Turn your hips to face the front of the room. So you're going to get your outer left hip behind you. And stay in a halfway lift as you prepare for pyramid. Good. Inhale, lengthen through your chest, lengthen, and then fold a little bit by hugging your core in. Good. Inhale. Exhale, hug from your core to fold. 2 more. Exhale, core activates to fold. Good. 1 more here. Nice big release towards your front leg. So you're going to keep your lower body where it is and halfway lift. Take your right hand inside or outside of your front foot, twisted triangle. Bring your left arm parallel to the ground. Good. Inhale, lengthen your chest. And then twist a little bit, not a lot, not the full way. Good. Inhale, hug your core in, twist a little more. Oh, my spine cracked. Good. Inhale. Exhale, maybe a little bit more by hugging your core in. Look up towards your top arm for 4. Nice, all for 2. Are you breathing steadily? And lower both hands down to the ground. Good. Step your right foot to meet your front foot. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Move your blocks off to the side. And then you're going to come down into a seat. So you can do what I'm doing, kind of come into a toe squat with your heels up and then walk your hands back to have you come down, or some other way. So you've got 1 more core activation before we settle into our yin poses, which has nothing to do with activating your core. All right, what you're going to do is hold on to the backs of your knees, have your feet, your toes pointing up so your heels are down. Lean back until you feel your core muscles turn on. Good. Lift up 1 foot if you want, stay there, or lift up the other foot. If you have 1 foot lifted, we're going to switch. We're going to do a couple of these, so you can switch as we go through. If both feet are up, you can reach your arms forward for Navasana, boat pose. But you're at a depth where you feel your core working. You might even wobble up and down to hold yourself. And you're going to stay for 4. Yeah. If you fell, come back up. 2. Good. Lean forward, heels to the ground. Okay, we have a couple more of those. Hold on to the backs of your knees. Lean back until you feel your core turn on. Stay here, or 1 foot or both feet. Hands or no hands to your legs. Now for this one, try to go down just a ½ inch lower than where you were before. It's not far, but you'll feel it. It's not far, but you will start to get those shakes. Hold for 4. Good, for 2. Use your hands to help you if you want. Come all the way back up. Nice, heels to the ground. 2 more, good. Inhale, breath, lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine until you lean back and you feel your core turn on. Lift your legs if you want that variation. Release your legs with your hands if you want that. And now from your highest boat pose, go 1 inch lower. So an extra ½ inch from last time. Even your legs move a little lower. If it's too much, 1 foot at a time, or hold on to your legs for 4, for 3, for 2, and then pull yourself up, hands or no hands, and release. We've got 1 more, and you've got a lot of other people doing this practice with you. So keep digging in, lean back. This is your last push. Align your feet how you want for your boat. Align your arms. Now this is up to you. Go to your lowest point possible without falling. Yeah, without falling. Hold. If you fell, come back. Hold 5. Yep, you can do this. Hold 3. Hold 2, and then you've got to come back up. Use your hands if you want, and release. Good. I'm going to transition to Baddha Konasana for a moment. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Not really close to you, bring them a little further away from you. Take a breath in, lengthen your spine, and take a breath out and start to fold forward. In some of our previous forward folds, like pyramid pose today, we hugged in our core to help us get there. But now we're transitioning to the yin part of our practice. which means that we're not using any muscle activation to help us get into the poses. In fact, it's a complete release. Drum out your fingers so that you're not gripping your mat. Move your jaw so you're not gripping your teeth. And if you ever get to a distance or you have the right props that you want to let your forehead drop, you can do that. Make a block tower of any height. Good. Another 30 seconds here to stretch through your back, to stretch through your hips. I always think of this class as the best of both worlds. From that kind of warm, moving flow that we just did to this cooling, static practice on the back end. And start to lift your upper body up. Use your hands to help you. Good. We're going to go to half pigeon. I'm going to go to half pigeon from here, but feel free to go to downward dog. So you're going to bring your right shin kind of towards the front of your mat for half pigeon. Lean to your right, swing your left leg around, and then push up onto your hands to reset. Or come to downward dog first, and then bring your right shin forward. Make sure your left leg has gone back and that your left toenails are facing the floor. And maybe if you want to now or later, you can place your forehead center onto something, whether it's your hands or multiple blocks. Or even all the way down to your yoga mat. But bring yourself to a depth that you could stay for about another 1.5 minutes from here. And if this isn't quite right for your knee or for your body today, I recommend a seated version of half pigeon, which I'll show you if you're interested in going there. Otherwise, stay in your regular half pigeon. Just check in with your body and see if there's any extra gripping that's perhaps not necessary for this pose. And because our hips hold a lot of tension, physical tension, it can be really easy in these poses to grip, to cling, to hold on. We have to retrain our mind, our body, our nervous system in these hip opening poses to soften and to relax. So just check in. Where can you soften your body? Where can you ungrip? A few more breaths. And then come up onto your hands, take your time. You're gonna lean to your right hip to swing your left leg around and go into a seated tree. So your right leg is gonna be bent. Your left foot is gonna be to the left corner of your yoga mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine and turn over your left leg, and then exhale, fold over your left leg. This is a great time for your strap or something to reach for your foot. And as you hold here for the next minute, think about turning your right rib cage as evenly as your left rib cage is towards your foot. You might even feel an added stretch along the right side of your lower back. And instead of pulling your body low, can you just let your body be in the pose and let time and gravity help you to go further if your body ends up going deeper. Otherwise, you'll stay at the depth that your body is ready for today. And then lift your chest all the way up, walk your hands back. Okay, keep your legs there. We're gonna do a counter stretch, which is just a made up yoga pose called rock star. You're gonna place your right arm behind you. Your left hand's gonna do this like sweepy thing. So you're gonna sweep your left hand over towards your right, lift your hips, round your left foot, and then sweep all the way back and lean back. Press your pelvis to the sky for 3. Then open your throat for 2. And then come out how you came in. Start to lower your hips, sweep your arm towards the right, and then over towards the left, and then release to center. Half pigeon, left shin forward. Feel free to go to downward dog. Otherwise, you're gonna bring your left shin forward, lean to your left, and then use your hands to prop yourself up a little bit to change your hips. And whatever path you took to get there, make sure you slide your left leg back and internally turn your right leg so all 5 toenails face down of your back foot. And in this hip opener, again, on this side, just retraining our body and our mind and our emotions, retraining our response to tension. So whatever tension or you might feel, especially in your hips now, try to neutralize the sensation with your thoughts. And to neutralize the sensation by softening your jaw, softening your fingers, bringing a slightly softer physical response to what you feel in your hips. Notice if you're leaning heavily to your left hip, that can tend to happen. Or we lean heavily to the left, so our body ends up turning towards the right. Try to level out your pelvis. You could even move a little left and right with your pelvis to find the center, the right spot. Again, check in with your body. Where can you release a little bit more? Retrain your body. Good, a few more breaths here. Nice, and then slowly start to use your hands to prop yourself back up. Lean towards your left leg, left hip. Slide your right leg around. I like to physically hold my right leg with my hand to bring it around. And then you're going to come into a seated tree. Left knee is bent. Right leg out to the right corner of your mat. I know it might be hard to see with my purple pants, but hopefully my cues are helpful. Good. Turn over your right leg with your chest and then start to lean to your right leg, your right foot with both hands. Great time to use your strap. And with both sides of your body as evenly reaching towards your right foot as possible. And that's different than evenly reaching with both sides of your body. Any version of the pose is still the pose. So if you're still turned open to the left a little bit, you're still doing the pose. If you have your chest and your forehead touching your right leg, you're still doing the pose. And as you're here, can you let your breath move freely? Allow the passageway through your nose, your throat, your chest to be as clear as possible, to let your breath move in and out effortlessly without obstruction. Last breath here. Then lift your chest. You can even walk your hands back to help you lift. We're going to go into that rock star counter pose. So left hand goes behind you. Your right arm is going to sweep over, ground your foot like you're in side plank. Then all of a sudden you turn up to the ceiling and go into a back bend. Nice, guys. Breathe for 3. Press out of your bottom shoulder. Drive your pelvis to the sky. Inhale. And then slowly exhale and come out. Take your time. Nice. Good. We're going to slowly come onto our back with your strong and controlled core. So bring your legs to the mat as slow as you can. Arms in front of you. Lower for 5, 4, 3. Hold if you need to. And then lower to the ground. Good. Okay, our next and second to last pose is plow pose and shoulder stand, which is going to require your core to kick your legs overhead in transition. So bring your arms down next to you. Draw your belly button in and get your feet behind you. Once your feet are behind you, shimmy your shoulders under your back and bring your hands to your low back. Good, and now is a good time to not look at the screen and to instead just look straight up to the ceiling. And if your feet are touching the floor, feel free to bring your hands back down to the ground. You can even interlace them. Or you can even bring your hands overhead to your toes. But if your feet are floating and are not touching the mat, then please keep your hands at your lower back, just for support and stability. If you'd like to lift your legs for shoulder stand, place your hands to your low back and lift up one or both legs at a time so that both legs are eventually lifted. Give a slight activation to your toes if you're in shoulder stand. Awesome, guys. A few more breaths. Just finding the stillness of your body in the pose that you're in and the variation of it. If you're in shoulder stand, bring your knees to your ears. Even if you're in plow, bend your knees, bring them towards your ears. Same principles. If your feet are to the ground, you can drop your hands. If your feet are floating, keep your hands to your back. Now, wherever you are, drop your hands and use them as brakes. Use your core control to slowly come out. Take your time, take your time. And from there, happy baby. Bend your knees, bring them next to you, hold to the bottoms of your feet. There's no right or wrong way if you hold the insides of your feet or the outsides. I generally like to hold the pinky edges of my feet because it makes my feet flatter to the ceiling. Just focus on your low back pressing to the floor. Nice. I'll take one more breath. Inhale. And then exhale and make your way into Shavasana, your final rest. I recommend a blanket, especially if you sweat a little bit and your sweat dried so you don't get chilly. Good thing about a home practice is likely a blanket of sorts is within your reach in just a couple steps. And let your arms fall to your sides for your final rest. And lengthen the back of your neck so that your forehead center is in line with your chin. And if that's not possible, you could place a book or something behind your head so that you lengthen your neck. Together, let's take a breath. Inhale, fill up all the way, every nook and cranny. Hold your breath for a moment. And then exhale and let every nook and cranny of breath go out. And then come into as natural of a breath as you can. Relax your chest. Soften your low back and hips. And give yourself this time to be. To let be, and to surrender. And if you find you're having trouble being still, physically or mentally, I recommend to bring your eyes, with them closed, but bring your eyes to the center of your forehead, as if you're looking behind your eyelids to that point. attention back to your body by taking a breath, or licking your lips, or moving your head, or your fingers, or your toes. Keep your head relaxed and slowly take your time to roll to your right in a fetal position. And then press yourself all the way up to a comfortable seat, facing the front of your yoga mat, with your eyes closed. And lower your hands to the ground next to you. Just feel the earth, what's underneath you. And just get grounded and connected to that. And slowly inhale, lift your arms up overhead, gather in your whole practice between your hands, and bring it down to your chest center so you sit nice and tall. And just imagine that your whole practice is right there between your palms. Any little bit of stillness, growth, strength, openness, physically or mentally, it's all right there, so you can take it with you. And bring your thumbs to your forehead center. And take a moment to acknowledge yourself for being here on your mat. Wonderful job, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can open your eyes. Appreciate you all for joining.